Hi friends, it is very early in the morning, but I decided that I wanted to talk about all of the series that I am currently in the middle of because I'm in the middle of 67 series, which is just so daunting. So last night I was going through the spreadsheet of all of the series that I currently have open that I want to continue reading. And I decided that for the month of December, I am going to focus on all of the series that I would like to complete before the end of the year. So I will not be starting any new series. So I guess this is like kind of my December TBR, or just like my plans for the rest of the reading year. A lot of these are fantasy, but most of them are romance series. I have my spreadsheet color-coded by the dark red are that would catch me up to where the series is now. The red is series that I know are finished, and the orange are series that I am unsure of if they're finished or if it's just catching me up to where they are. And then the blue is the books that I don't really think that I can finish by the end of the year. I will say, since this is a December TBR, Letitia from Books and Bees and I are reading the Brutal Birthright series together, but we're only reading the next two books in the series that we haven't read. So it's Savage Lover and Bloody Heart, and then we're reading the next two in January, and then we're reading the Kingmaker series next year. So technically I won't finish the Brutal Birthright series this year, but I am continuing it in December. So the first series that I would like to get through or catch up on is the Twisted series. The first book was Twisted Love and the second book is Twisted Games. And the first one was a brother's best friend, and I think the second one is like a bodyguard romance. I didn't particularly love the first one, but I am interested in the second one. I've heard the writing gets better, and I've just heard altogether it's a better book. And then I want to catch up on the Promised in Blood series. I don't know if this is just going to be a trilogy or not. I have read the first one, and now the second and third one are out, so I would like to catch up with them. They're not super long, and I read them very quickly because I love her. So it should be easy for me to get through the series pretty quickly and catch up to where the third book is. And then the next two I would like to finish completely that I think are finished is the Boys of Brayshaw High series. So I have 4 books in that series. This is basically a high school bully series about a girl who moves to a reform house, is associated with a reform school, and she catches the attention of the guys there that like rule the school. Like, I don't know if the second one is a companion book or a continuation, but we'll see. So I'll be starting with Trouble at Brayshaw High. And then I also want to finish the Equilibrium series by Christina C. Jones. I have read, what is it, Frosted, Whipped, and Buttered, which is the second novella in the series. I think they're all novellas, but I will be starting with Love Notes. I don't know what this is about. I'm assuming it follows one family. And then I would like to catch up with the Souls trilogy by Harley LaRoe. So I read Her Soul to Take, and now Her Soul for Revenge is out. This is Gothic town where they're trying to summon an old god. There is cults, there's demons, all that kind of stuff. And then I'm not sure if this is a continuation. She's writing like full-length books about the people in this series, but I don't know if she's going to continue the series or start a new series with the same characters. I'm not sure, so I marked it as unsure, but I want to catch up with the Fangs with Benefits series. So the first one in this is Feed, and the second one is Skin. So I love Feed. It was 5 stars, fantastic novella, very sexy. And then I want to read Skin, which I think is about a gargoyle. I would also like to finish the Kane trilogy. The first one in this series is Degradation, which I absolutely loved, 5 stars. Either 4 or 5 stars. And the second one is Separation. I think it's following the same couple, all the way through the series, so we'll see how that goes. I might get to a point where I don't want to continue, but at the moment I'm very interested to see the continuation with this couple. Next up, I would like to finish the Bow Street Runners series by Lisa Kleypas. I read Someone to Watch Over Me this year, absolutely loved it, 5 stars. It was an amnesia romance. And then the last two that I have to read, Lady Sophia's Lover, which is the second book, and Worth Any Price, which is the third book. And I'm not entirely sure what this series is about. I don't know if it's like following 3 sisters. All I know is the first one was an amnesia romance, and I love the covers. Next up, we have the Women Who Dare series by Beverly Jenkins. I read the first one earlier this, I want to say last month, and that is Rebel. And I'm also interested in Wild Rain. Now I know this is the end of this series, but I know all of her books connect, so I'm not sure about it. And then I also want to read Broderick to catch me up on the Sabine Valley series. I don't know if the third one has come out yet, but I really liked Abel. The world was a little confusing, but I still am interested in continuing on because it was just sexy as hell. So then we get into some of my fantasies or non-romance reads. So I would like to finish the Broken Earth trilogy. I have the Obelisk Gate and the Stone Sky. I read the 5th season earlier this year and adored it. This is basically in a world where there are people that can shift the tectonic plates, and they are kind of used as subservient beings to non-magic users. And the first one blew my mind. I absolutely loved it. I'm excited to continue on in the series. And then I would like to wrap up the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. First and second one in the series were 5 stars for me, and so I want to get to As Good as Dead this year. And then I want to catch up with A Song of Race and Ruin series, and that one is A Psalm of Storms and Silence, which I know is a continuation of the first one. This is like a enemies to lovers YA fantasy between a guy who has to kill the queen to get his sister back, and then the queen has to kill a king to bring her mother back. I would like to finish the Serpent and Dove trilogy with Gods and Monsters. Serpent and Dove was a 4-star, and I want to say Blood and Honey was either a 4-star or a 5-star, so all I have left is Gods and Monsters, and I'm very excited. And then I have 2 like novella series that I want to finish. So I want to finish the Falling Like a Johnson series, and I only have 3 left in that series. I don't plan on reading the first one, which is The Gift, because I don't really like kids or like pregnancy, so I'm probably just going to skip that one. But I have Just One More Time, The Sweetest Escape, and Yours Always. And then I also want to complete out the Love Sisters trilogy. I finished I Think I Might Love You, but I want to read I Think I Might Need You and I Think I Might Want You. The Love on the Rock series, which is also by Rilsey Adams, who wrote the Falling Like a Johnson series. And I've read 12 Dates of Christmas. I won't read You, Me, and the Baby, but I do want to read Brand New. All right, so then I would like to finish out the There's Something About Marysburg series. So I read the first one, Teach Me. This is a teacher-teacher romance with a plus-sized heroine and middle-aged main characters. Then we have 40 Love, which is tennis, and I think it's a woman and her tennis instructor, and she's plus sized. And then Sweetest in the Gale, I'm not sure what it's about, but the heroine is also plus sized. I would like to finish out the Last Magician trilogy. I think it's just a trilogy. So I have The Devil's Thief and The Serpent's Curse. This is probably going to be one of those questionable ones that I might not end up getting to, because I've been completely unable to find The Devil's Thief at any library or free source that I have, so we'll see how that goes. The Darkly Madly duet, I read Born Darkly, really liked it, and then I would like to finish Born Madly. And then, of course, I would like to finish out one of my all-time favorite fantasy series. I want to finish the Davabad trilogy. I read The City of Brass last year, gave it 5 stars. I read The Kingdom of Copper this year, gave it 5 stars. And I'm very excited to get to The Emperor of Gold. And then one of my all-time favorite just books, period, last year was A Song Below Water. And I would like to read the continuation of Chorus Rises. This is about 2 pseudo-sisters. They grew up together and they feel like sisters, and they both kind of are coming into their own abilities. This centers around a lot of racism and the Black Lives Matter movement and finding your own voice and sisterhood. And the first one was weird, incredibly weird, but beautiful. I would like to finish out the We Hunt the Flame series, and it's a duet, so the only one I have left is We Free the Stars. I'm not sure if that's the end of the series, but I think it is. This is like a magical fantasy series about, I can't remember. I'm definitely gonna have to do a reread of the first one before I jump into the second one. This is kind of an iffy one. I would like to catch up on the Touch of Taboo series. I do have 4 books left in it, but they're all novellas. It'll just be whether I can get them or not. So the one that I'm probably gonna end up reading is Gifting Me to His Best Friend. I would like to wrap up the Kiss Quotient series, or at least catch up. I don't know if it's finished with The Heart Principle, but I don't know if I'm like emotionally ready, but I do have it on my list to finish. And then I would like to marathon the Diviners books. Again, this is going to be iffy because I'm having a lot of trouble finding the 3rd book in the series. I was able to find the 2nd and the 4th, so I would like to just sit down and read all of them in one go. And then the last series I would like to get to is the Bloodline Vampires series by Katie Robert. I read Sacrifice earlier in the year, and I have Heir and Queen left, and I don't know if this is just going to catch me up or if it's the end of the series, but it's a reverse harem vampire series. Those are all of the series that I want to finish and not have hanging over my head when I go into 2022, but we'll see how that goes. It's a lot of series that I plan to read, with a lot of books, but I think if I just focus on these and not any of the other books that I want to read, I think I will be very well off. So leave your comment down below on any of the series that I have left to read, that I plan to read for the year, or any of the series that you would like to finish by the end of 2021. I would love to know. If you would like to see more content from me, please consider subscribing. But other than that, I will catch you guys in my next one. Thanks so much for watching.